Hey, I'm Jim Barry. Welcome once again to Miami Life, the show that takes a close look at what's going on here in South Florida. Every week we let you know what's going on in Miami-Dade and Broward, and we talk to the movers and shakers who are getting it done. This week, the U.S. Supreme Court dealt a devastating blow to nearly 350,000 Venezuelans living in the U.S. when it ruled the Trump White House can get rid of their temporary protected status. Now, this reverses a decision made at the end of former President Joe Biden's presidency to extend TPS for Venezuelans. Many of those people are now in jeopardy of being sent back to their home country. The ruling sent shockwaves throughout South Florida, which of course is home to one of the largest Venezuelan communities in the nation.
We have people who are working with papers, who are paying taxes. When we lose those workers, who are going to fill their jobs? And if we don't have people who can fill their jobs, because we do not, because we already have a labor shortage, the prices of goods and services go up.
South Florida Republican Congressman Carlos Jimenez issued this statement. He said, quote, "Here in South Florida, many Venezuelans are law-abiding residents who contribute meaningfully to our local economy and community. As I have always said, although all members of the Tren de Aragua criminal organization are Venezuelan, not all Venezuelans are part of that gang." Now, there are some other court cases that apparently must be ruled upon about this issue, so we'll, of course, see where it goes. Meantime, in Broward County, there are some commercial property owners in Lauderdale Lakes who say they are getting pretty frustrated. They're being hit with whopping fines for code violations, but blame local inspectors for being way too slow to sign off on repairs the owners say were made long, long ago. CBS News Miami's Seawward went digging deep into this story.
If budgets speak, this one says something lawyer Ari Pregan feared for his clients, a couple in their 80s and one of Lauderdale Lakes' biggest taxpayers. Both face six-figure code violation liens after 200 to 1,000-day waits for inspectors to verify repairs on things like window handles and electrical outlet covers.
Never seen anything like it. I handle these cases statewide, and I've never seen numbers like that. $65,000 for a window crank, $55,000 for a broken piece of plastic on a light switch cover. I just couldn't make sense of it.
In this adopted budget summary, Lauderdale Lakes city manager says the previous year's revenues remain flat. Future years may not be able to absorb increases in expenses with no adjustments to fees. During the upcoming fiscal year, staff has been challenged to seek strategies to reduce expenses and or create new revenue opportunities. Under general fund revenues, staff projected they'd make $300,000 from code enforcement liens and another $4,000 on code compliance citations. That's a 161% increase in revenue.
Obviously, times are tough, but what they're trying to do is illegal. You know, we have the excessive fines clause for a reason. It prohibits excessive fines. So, you know, it's shocking.
Voicemail. CBS News Miami called the mayor for an explanation. This comes after she and Commissioner Easton Harrison declined comment around a Chamber of Commerce event Thursday. We also emailed every commissioner and took our questions before the entire commission in recent days.
The fines that they face, $366,000, are those excessive?
It's egregious. There's no excuse.
Alan Levy runs the city's only industrial park. 3 years ago, a tenant remodeled an office and made a bathroom accessible without permits. Levy says he spent thousands trying to satisfy code inspectors, but it took them more than 1,000 days to verify full compliance. His lien is $740,000.
I bet my life on it. I don't have that much longer.
82-year-old Kenneth Bordeaux and his 80-year-old wife Mildred faced $366,000 worth of liens on their duplex. They waited more than 220 days for inspectors to verify repairs. Now their main source of income and the asset they hope to pass on to their family is in limbo.
I feel like I'm just being beat on with a sledgehammer, and I don't understand it.
Thursday, a city spokesperson told us, quote, "Because the matters are pending litigation before a magistrate, it would be inappropriate to comment," end quote. But Pregan and his clients hope staff is willing to change soon.
And our own Larry Seawward, who has been all over this story, joins us now in Miami Life for a deeper dive. Larry, how in the world can these folks be expected to pay these enormous fines?
Good question. That's what they want to know, because they've never seen fines like this, and all the time. You look at that realty company that's been there for decades. They've had other code issues in other cities. They work in 60 different municipalities in South Florida, but they've never seen anything like that. And so they're appealing. There is a lien appeals process, but what they've been told is the maximum discount they can expect is 10%
Even
maximum.
that's still a lot of money.
It is a huge sum of money, something they still can't afford, the lien.
When I hear lien, I'm thinking that property can be taken away from them. Is that a real possibility here?
It's a real possibility. Obviously, anytime there's a lien, that's the threat. No one with this city has threatened to take their property. Let's be clear about that. That's not taking place. But the communication between the couple that you saw there that owned this duplex, the Bordeaux's, as well as Alan Levy, who owns the Levy Realty Associates there, they have not heard a realistic fee. So they are still fighting with it.
There's an underlying story here, and that is that some local municipalities, after COVID, are trying to dream up new ways to raise revenue, right?
Well, they are. I mean, obviously, COVID revenue, we know it's supplemented a lot of things for a lot of municipalities. And once that support was rolled back, municipalities have to find new ways to bring in money. So specific to Lauderdale Lakes, what did they do? We looked at their budget for this current fiscal year, and what it says from the city manager, spelled out in black and white: staff challenged to find strategies to either reduce expenses or raise revenue. And what staff did in that document is they earmarked making $300,000 this fiscal year in code enforcement liens and another $4,000 in code compliance citations. That's a 161% increase in revenue.
Wow, they were counting on this to happen. So the inspectors, in your story, said they're kind of slow walking getting these inspections done. What's the issue there?
That's not clear. That's what we're trying to find out. We've sent emails, we've called, we've personally talked with some of the commissioners, at least tried to, and not gotten that cleared up. What we've been told by a spokesperson with the city is that they consider this all a legal issue because it is before magistrates. But when you talk to the people that owe, when you talk to that couple, what they tell you is that when they try to cure one of the violations, it will take weeks for an inspector to come. Then there will be something else that pops up that needs to be cured. It will take another set of weeks or months. And so this is dragged on, in their case, 220 plus days. In the case of the realty company, more than 1,000 days.
What's the mayor and city commissioners, what are they saying about this?
Nothing. Publicly, nothing.
Wow.
We tried.
Yeah. So what's next here?
There is a commission meeting next week, and I understand that the folks that we have featured in our stories plan to again appeal to them for a realistic reduction in fines. Don't know how that's going to bear out. Don't know if the commission will even discuss it. Last time that they met last week, when I asked questions, they told me to speak at public comments.
I saw that.
And I spoke, and there was no response.
Well, I'm certain that those people, those property owners, applaud you for exploring this story and really confronting the powers that be there to try to get some answers, and I'm sure you will.
We'll continue.
All right, Larry, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Up next, former UM and NFL star Bryant McKinnie. Dude never allowed a sack in college, but now the ex-football star is trying to prevent people from being sacked by mental health issues. We're going to tell you how. Plus, this. I can do that. Sure. A South Florida gym that trains future stunt heroes for movie roles when Miami Life continues. All right, welcome back. This week's person of interest is somebody that local sports fans certainly recognize, former UM superstar Bryant McKinnie. Had a stellar playing career at the U and in the NFL, of course, but now Bryant has turned his focus towards raising mental health awareness, and he is hosting a great event on Thursday evening of cocktails and conversation at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. B. Mac, thank you, man, for stopping by, man.
Thank you very much for having me.
And how did you get interested in this topic?
I got in this topic when I retired. A couple of people retired around the same time as me, and they were having a tough time transitioning from life after, and we're having a few breakdowns, and I kind of was a key force, I guess, in their life, and would go to someone we're in the psych ward, would go there, and then also would communicate with the NFL and NFLPA on getting them help and assistance and helping their family. And I was like, this is something that we really need to talk about, especially men, because I think a lot of men bottle things up and keep it to themselves and just deal with it. So I added this to my mission statement around 2017.
Yeah. And what have you learned since you've delved into it?
I've learned a lot. I've learned, you know, a lot of times people do things. A lot of things are trauma responses that you do as adults, as far as trying to please people and, you know, just don't like accept when people try to praise you or like, you know, like congratulate you and things, you kind of brush it. Those are all like trauma responses from a child and things like that. So I've learned a lot doing this. And then I learned little things too, key things to look out for when somebody may actually be crying out for help.
So to recognize this.
Yeah, to recognize it. So I want people, when they come, they'll learn some of those things as well.
I think that's really interesting because I think people have this view of pro athletes, man, y'all don't have a care in the world. I mean, you got the money, you got the fame, but there's a lot of pressure that people don't recognize. And then when the light goes out, it's a real change of life, isn't it?
I'm gonna tell you what's funny too. I learned this, I heard the song as a kid by Notorious B.I.G. called More Money, More Problems. Didn't understand it at the time until you get in that situation. And just because you are in a situation where it seems like it's glamorous, there's a lot of things that come, behind the scenes, and a lot of people don't know how to deal with it. And even going back to those gentlemen who were having their breakdowns, they would rather talk to me because I played the sport and instead of dealing with their family. So that's where it kind of came in to play for me.
So what can folks expect at this event Thursday?
You can expect some therapists, life coaches that'll be on the panel. And then you'll have other people like influencers like Lisa Ray, Shaun T, Trina, Silta Shocker, even former NFL player Tommy Harris. And everybody kind of shares their testimony, their story. Miss Sabrina Greenlee, DeAndre Hopkins' mom, she'll be up there as well. People just share their story, and what that does is it allows people in the audience to kind of realize, oh, they may be going through that as well, and they get to hear tips or how the person got through it, or even just be bold enough to, speak to one of the therapists afterwards and try to make a connection that way to get some help.
Yeah, you're right about that, how we're socialized. We're socialized, hey, be tough, always be tough.
Oh, yeah.
But, sometimes being tough isn't necessarily the smart way to go about it. Sometimes you have to talk to somebody who you really trust.
You have to decompress, because I feel like sometimes just always keeping everything in is like a soda can and just keep shaking it up and eventually explode.
Yeah, good way to put it. Well, a lot of folks may not know these two things about Bryant McKinnie, but I'm going to tell you two things. One, this big fella can dance. That's number one, okay? He can dance. And number two, B-Mac can play some tennis, and he don't want to talk about that, but you've got these other outlets, and I think that really helps with the mental balance in life.
It definitely does. Any type of workouts, I learned that too. So working out, gives you the endorphins, and it kind of makes you feel good and things like that. So me continue to stay moving. I'm always told movement is medicine, so I have to stay moving. That helps me feel good.
Bryant, man, thank you so much for being here. And if you want more information on the B Major Foundation, visit our website at cbsmiami.com. All right, still to come, how to train like an action hero. We're going to visit a gym in Miami where you can learn how to fight Hollywood style. A new Mission Impossible movie starring Tom Cruise is out this week. These movies have raised the bar when it comes to stunts, many of which Cruise does himself. Well, if you wonder how someone trains to do all of these cinematic acrobatics, guess what? You can do it right here in Miami. In fact, we visited a unique gym in Kendall run by stunt daredevils who can teach you how to be an action hero.
3, 2, 1, action, jab, cross, hit, boom.
Even in a city with a gym on practically every corner, the Miami Action Design Gym stands out. Those who come here get flipped, and punched and stomped. This gym trains stunt performers.
We are the only stunt gym in all of Florida at the moment, and also we're the only stunt gym in Miami ever.
Co-owners Yesenia Ocasio and Chris Bogdansky are Emmy-winning stunt performers who have worked on blockbuster movies like Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Dune, and Bad Boys, Ride or Die. Ocasio grew up here.
I absolutely love teaching people that don't think they're capable of any of this.
This gym helps people realize their dreams and aspirations when it comes to in the film industry. You can come in here and you can train with us and you can actually learn and do the things that we do for film. So it'll make you look like the Jet Li, the Jackie Chan, and makes you feel like it's truly accomplished something. It's I get to live out my childhood dreams of being in an action movie.
Some people are drawn here to try something new after seeing a stunt-filled movie like Mission Impossible. But Jalen Dominguez, who grew up loving martial arts movies, is here to learn the trade.
I'm coming here to Miami Action Design to get my basics, understand as much as I can before they start pushing me out for work.
Actor and filmmaker Jazz Patterson says this gym helped him overcome one of his biggest fears.
I'd say wire. I'm very scared of heights. Insanely scared of heights. But they, they had this great workshop where they, went into the specifics of how it works, how it operates, how to strap yourself in, safety protocol. Like once I saw it done like 3, 4, 5 times, I'm like, okay, I can try it. And when I did it, it was like the most fun thing ever.
And Kimberly Benson, a pro cliff diver, is another who likes how the gym has taken her out of her comfort zone.
Oh my God, it's so much fun. It's so much fun to take my base level of athleticism and try something completely different and throw myself like off balance where I feel like I'm a beginner again.
Every once in a while, the stunt pros here hit the mat to demonstrate how it's done. A big key in the art of stunt work is always knowing the location of the camera.
We call it like 3 fighters. 3 fighters is the 2 people performing and our 3rd fighter, which is the camera lens. We're learning how to sit there and we know where camera lens is at all times, so when we perform, we have it to where all of our hits connect and everything looks very pretty.
Stunt work has been a part of movies from the very beginning, but it took a century for Hollywood to decide to offer stunt performers an Oscar in their own category, starting next year. The Mad Gym owners say stars like Tom Cruise help them get their due.
Tom Cruise is one of the big advocates for us, like as an actor and as a lead actor. He advocates for the stunt world and he understands like what we go through.
So I think that's very important, and we just opened the gym 6 months ago, and ever since it's just been going great, and now we actually get the respect that, you know, we've been waiting for.
That is really cool. Our thanks to the team at Miami Action Design for letting us watch your work. And Yesenia, I ain't messing with you, lady. Not at all. Miami Life coming right back in a minute. All right, time to see what the Miami Life audience has to say. And we're so happy that so many of you told us that you really enjoyed our special dance episode. In fact, some of you liked the spotlight on the Haitian dance compa. And Chicago South Steppin' was also a hit. Shout out to Maria for noticing that. I've still got a few moves. But our favorite comment may have been from another viewer who said that she really loved the diversity and all the cultures that we spotlighted, which is exactly what we set out to do in that show for that reason, and to spread some joy through the art of dance. Keep sending us your comments and feedback to CBS Miami at CBS.com. That's going to do it for this week's episode of Miami Life. Don't forget you can see us every Thursday with a new episode for Miami Life at 6:30 on the stream. You can watch all Miami Life episodes on demand on our YouTube channel. I'm Jim Barry. See you soon.